I'm going to show you how to put the finishing touches on your deer insert. Once everything is painted and completely dry, you're going to take the wedge that you used for the hooves and the nose, so it had the black color on it, and you're going to dab it very hard on your cardboard or whatever you're using to kind of clean off your surface, just so there's hardly any black paint left. This is completely optional. It's if you wanted that shadowy effect. And then just very, very lightly start dabbing around. I actually dabbed a little too hard and didn't get very much. So you can kind of wipe it, you can kind of dab it, and I barely put any around the edge. It's super subtle. You can kind of see it on this finished piece. And you can do more than that if you want. You don't have to do any. We just move all the way around that circle until you're happy with the amount. And then once you get as much as you want, that's when you start peeling off the adhesive on your pieces. Make sure that everything is dry. Mine was such a light layer that it dried almost instantly. Press down to stick. And then the next piece I'm gonna do is the bell. I'm sure you all know how to do this already, but I did want to mention with the bell, because you're going to be putting the scarf down on his neck, you want to, you don't want it up here. Otherwise your scarf, I mean, I guess you could put it directly on top of the bell, but if you want it above like I did, make sure that you press your bell a little bit lower on that deer's neck. Then we'll do our greenery. Can get that piece off. Sorry for the chewing. My dog was given a yogurt container. And then with the snowflakes, you can put them wherever you want. I had one on top of the deer. Be really careful. I haven't pushed that down yet, so it's totally fine. So it can be moved. I like to just barely set mine down so I can kind of look at them, make sure that I'm happy with the positioning, move it a little bit, and then I press down. The one on the deer, make sure that you're not pressing down on the piece that overhangs. Since it doesn't have any support, you don't want to break that off. So I just make sure that I only press where the deer is. Okay. Before you put the scarf on, if you want to do the splatter effect, which I love, it's kind of snowy, it just gives it just so much dimension and so much more detail. You're going to take your detail brush and you're going to barely dip it in that white paint. And then I like to flick off to the side. Oh, first things first, always forget to say, make sure you lay something down to protect your surface. Paint is going to splatter everywhere. I use a disposable tablecloth that I think it was a 3-pack for $1 at the dollar store. But it will flick everywhere. So protect that. Dip your detail brush into your white paint, and then I flick some off onto the side, just so I don't get huge globs. And then I start kind of far above my insert, and then as the paint is kind of wearing off, I get closer for those really tiny detailed splatters. And then start moving for the really little ones. And then just do that until you're happy with the amount. And then we will set it aside to dry. As soon as this dries, I will come back on and we will attach the scarf. Okay, once everything is dry, the scarf is very simple to make. All you need to do is take this little strip and then tie it in a knot and make sure that both sides are even before tightening that knot. Well, as even as they can be. Tighten it. And then I like to set it down on his neck and see about how much I want to trim off. I'm going to trim off about that much on each side. I think that's pretty good. And then I like to make my ends frayed just so it looks more like the ends of a scarf. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to flatten this out, and then I'm just going to cut strips, not all the way down. Probably about 2/3 of the way down. I'm going to try to get one more strip cut if I can. I maybe need some more detailed scissors. And so then it's just kind of, just gives it a little bit more of a scarf look, I think. And then I included a glue dot. So if you wanna peel that glue dot off, stick it there, and then put your scarf on top. The best method is going to be just putting a dot of hot glue and holding that there until it dries. But just in case you didn't have a hot glue gun, I did include that glue dot for you. So if you have any questions on anything else about this insert, please reach out and I'm happy to help.